Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Santa's sleigh. That's right, everyone. Welcome back to a bonus episode of Electric Mullet for December. It's our little Christmas present to you. I am Phil, and of course,
Tyler.
Superman and Santa's #1 fan. It is.
Yeah, like you can't see my shirt right now, but like, let's see here. Bam.
Oh, yeah.
Superman Santa.
There's a Superman Christmas shirt on.
Heck yeah. Time to ring in some holly jolly. You know what I'm saying?
So, yes, we're back to discuss Action Comics 648, Superman 39, and, of course, the Christmas episode, or the issue, which is Adventures of Superman 462. And I don't know about you, but I feel all off because we usually record on a Monday, recording on Saturday night.
I know. It's like, what day is it? Who is this?
What?
I know. It's just been that week.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time getting early, dark early, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. But which one are we doing first?
Action Comics 648.
Okay.
Part 2 of our Brainiac trilogy.
What's crazy is like I went back on the app after I read it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then even though I went back, it's still like reset to the next issue. I was like, come on.
Yeah, it's like the app tries to guess, but it always guesses wrong.
I wish it would just be like you could pick, like, go back an issue, go forward an issue. But
they need to do some like consumer testing, something.
It needs to be like, if you've been subscribed, you got the yearly, like just get an email like, how are you liking the app?
Mm-hmm.
What are some things like, do you remember man, back in the day when you'd buy the the DC animated films, there would always be a survey inside, and it would ask you like how often, like it'd ask you all kinds of questions, but then it would ask you for like, what films do you want to see? Why do you like buying these things like that? And it was cool because I used to, I buy all of them, and now we're not going to get any more. Like,
yeah.
the Crappy Crisis was the last of them, and then we got the 2-part Watchmen, and we're going to get Watchmen Part 2 sometime soon, and that's the last that we know of any DC animated films. So,
well, maybe once the gun stuff starts, we might get stuff set in that universe,
maybe. But I'm just like, he talked about this whole Elseworlds thing, but I'm just feeling like, yeah, other than Matt Reeves stuff, there really isn't any of this Elseworlds stuff.
Well, I mean, it's not like our typical or usual stuff, but I mean, aren't they doing Creature Commandos or whatever?
Yeah, but that's tied into the new universe.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Body and mind.
All right. All right. So yeah, we'll start with Action 648. There's the cover. All right. Superman battling a whole bunch of Metalli. All right.
I was like, whoa, I like that Metallize and Metallos. Like
Action Comics 648 from December 1989. Body and Mind. Writer Roger Stern. Pencilers George Perez and Kerry Gamble. Inker Brett Breeding. Colors Glenn Whitmore. Letterer Bill Oakley. And editors Mike Carlin and Jonathan Peterson. Brainiac and Metallo keep working on a plot against Lex Luthor, and an army of Metallos attacks LexCorp's building. Superman intervenes and stops the robots from exploding the whole building. Luthor realizes Brainiac might be behind this attack and decides to go check the LexCorp facility in Missouri, where Metallo is supposed to be stored. Meanwhile, the real Metallo, disguised as John Corbin, as he used to look, visits Dr. Augustin and plants a brain probe, allowing Brainiac to control him telepathically. The pair enters the Project Cadmus facility looking for cell samples necessary to create a new host body for Brainiac. Double X senses Brainiac's mind has infiltrated Cadmus and the armed forces engage Metallo. Superman arrives at the facility after being signaled and stops Metallo. Dr. Augustine escapes in the confusion of the battle. Luthor arrives at the Missouri LexCorp plant and asks to see Dr. Happerson, only to discover Brainiac is in control of the entire facility, and a group of armed soldiers are surrounding him. So guess where Lex is spending Christmas, kids? All right, so thoughts?
Okay, so my thoughts on this one. The little recap at the beginning was kind of neat about like kind of the history of Metallo.
Yeah, because I don't know if they've really ever gone into that, like post-crisis. It's like, but yeah.
I don't remember us reading it. I'm not a fan of this Metallo. He just looks, I don't know, he just doesn't look good. The eyes are creepy. It reminds me, like at times they draw them almost if they're real eyes, but it reminds me almost of doll eyes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very like Terminator looking.
Well, again, I mean, that might have had some influence, though, too. It is 1989.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, very Terminator-ish.
I will say that something I am loving is how in every issue, Clark's outfits are different.
Yes, he's not wearing the same blue suit every time. Yeah,
or just like the same kind of generic look. Like this one,
same suit. Yeah,
yeah. Like he's got brown pants, brown tie, and a red jacket, and I was like, okay, that's cool. But I liked him when he goes. He talks about where is it? This time you don't have a chunk of kryptonite in your chest, and without that ace in the hole, there's no way you can beat me. And he like punches him, and he obliterates. And he's like, what? And he goes outside and he literally says, "Great Scott."
But yeah, because we see a whole bunch of Metallos heading for the Lex Tower.
Now, here's a question to you right here. I was thinking about this. We haven't gotten the comics yet, have we? Because I'm gonna do on Krypton Report later, like within the next 2 years, a big Silver Age reread dive. We haven't got Brainiac having drones or robots yet, have we? Like robots servants, have we?
No.
And if you think about it, this is like where that in a way kind of starts. Because these are like Metallos, but this is this version of Brainiac using Metallo looking drone robots in his service, as you know, will come later on when we get the Jeff Johns.
Oh yeah, I mean after this, I mean the ante keeps going up because now he was right now it's just like an alien mind in a human body, but it's going to keep getting upgrade.
I do like on page 13 the incorrectly colored blue cape.
I didn't know if that was like supposed to be like shadowed or if it just it is miscolored. I don't know.
Because like it looks like it's an interesting panel because he's like jumping and then it looks like he's jumping over and then there's just a big hole in the ground.
Well, that Metallo drone was blowing up, so he was trying to block the blast. Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, this is cool. And I had to laugh and point out to Jania. I was like, oh, look. But yeah, the Corbin coming in his suit and everything. And I had to stop for a second because I was like, wait, Corbin's Brainiac or Metallo, right? I was like, did they change something on me? And then, no.
Yeah, no, I think he just disguised himself as what he looked like when
he it threw me for a quick. I was like, wait a minute. This is what happens when you read too many Superman comics, because like I'm reading this for Mullet, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm reading Where We Are for Krypton Report, and then just for me, I'm reading the current stuff. So then your brain after a while is trying to like, wait, what, where?
Yeah, well, it's weird. They're doing something here, and then like New 52, they completely changed the script, and then the current stuff they're kind of almost getting back to a lot of this stuff.
Yep, we are, as of this recording, when people hear this, we have closed our New 52 reading, where we ran our experiment, reading through all the trades to see how they worked. So we did 3 different Superman titles from that era. But I like the floating Brainiac head. I like
because his does like kind of save his body, puts it in suspended animation until they can like fix it. And he thinks, he's telling Happerson, even if you can't hear my voice, you saw my probe on, so you have to obey me. But then meanwhile, it just like kind of unleashes his mind. So now he's basically astral projecting everywhere.
And I love when we see like him getting Guardian hits him with his shield and it like tears up his fake skin.
Oh yeah, Metallo, yeah.
And then, but my favorite is what super like this would. I feel like if Metallo even had his kryptonite heart, because it's usually like covered and he has to open it.
Mm-hmm.
I love this right here, how he shoots off his arms and his legs
with his heat vision, yeah,
and just leaves it as a body.
Mm.
I'm like, it's kind of crazy because I guess with this Metallo, does he still have anything human in him?
I think just the brain, maybe.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Because that's always like the where you draw the line, like how much do you make him?
Yeah, because I think it's just the brain. Because I think when Superman looked at the drones, he's like, there's no organic matter at all. There's no brain, no nothing. So that's why he was like, I can really tear into these things.
And then it ends with Brainiac's face appearing to Lex.
Yeah, because Lex gets to his plant and realizes, everyone working there is under Brainiac's control.
I mean, it was a fun read. I like the, you got Metallo and Brainiac, but yet I don't like either version of these two.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, okay. But it is a nice little, like, there is a lot of Superman action in this. And Milton finds an interesting kind of way of doing this character.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, but again, next episode, first one in January. Yeah, we'll wrap up this Brainiac trilogy. So,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
But no, I mean, I've been enjoying the story. The art's good. And again, we're getting more and more stuff with Project Cadmus. So
I like the Cadmus stuff because it starts to really open the door for more.
Oh yeah, getting all kinds of sciencey stuff in the next few years here.
And then
But I was just like with the heat vision thing. I was like, okay, I guess it almost seems like Superman took him down way easier than he has in the past. But I guess with no kryptonite around, he's like, oh yeah, that heat vision's firing on the full power and everything. So
yeah, it just kind of makes you wonder like how they constructed Metallo.
Yeah, because Brainiac kind of had to rebuild him. So
was it just a decoy? So Brainiac could, do what he needs to do.
Probably, yeah. Like, whatever damage you want to do, fine. But yeah, you keep Superman busy.
Exactly.
All right. So should we get to the next issue?
Oh yeah, about our good friend Jimmy yelling, screaming Olsen.
Friend in quotes, Jimmy. Look at that cover and tell me Tyler wasn't like, oh, they turned him to stone. Good.
Now he won't talk.
All right, Superman Volume 2, number 39 from January 1990. Jimmy Olsen's Excellent Adventure. Dude. Writer Jerry Ordway, penciler Kerry Gamble, inker Bob McLeod, colorist Glenn Whitmore, letterer John Costanza, and editors Mike Carlin and Jonathan Peterson. A crane transformed into a humanoid robot is causing terror in a construction site in Metropolis. When Superman arrives, the crane goes back into its original form, and an Egyptian-looking man with the ability to manipulate mechanical objects comes out of the driver's cabin. This man is Husk, an exile Superman met during an investigation in Quark, which was way back in Adventures of Superman 443, kids.
Not even the same title. That's what's fun.
Well, it's the same writer, though, Jerry Ordway. So. With unintelligible words, this man warns Superman that Jimmy Olsen is in danger. Superman takes him to Emil Hamilton, who decides to try the same experiment that caused Jimmy's disappearance in the first place. Meanwhile, Jimmy is trapped in some sort of limbo where he is being chased by creatures. He is saved by a mysterious man that inhabits that void, and this man turns out to be a clone of Jimmy's father, who has the same memories as the original old man. He warns Jimmy that his mother is in danger, but before he can finish telling his story, Husk arrives at that dimension and sends him back to Earth. Superman takes Jimmy to the hospital, then heads to the Daily Planet as Clark Kent, where he calls Thornton, that's Colin Thornton, and to accept his offer to work as managing editor at News Time. It's the only logical decision, kids. Logical.
No. So let's just kick off this with the first part. Husk has the ability to manipulate machinery, and he's from ancient Egypt.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the story we kind of got. I don't know if he was like I don't know, what would be a mutant almost, like in Marvel, just...
Yeah. I mean, it was just... I was like, okay, because like just seeing him get out of like the Transformer wannabe right here,
yeah,
I was like, okay, that's an interesting way of putting him in the story. And then Jimmy with his hair in this dimension is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Because first he's like, "Hey, give me my hat back." When that thing grabs his hat, he's like, "Oh, no one's here to see me."
And then Emil Hamilton, it's good in this one. I did think it was interesting when we got, Jimmy. We see that like him being held by like the multi-armed creature, like it's going to rip him apart, and then all of a sudden you see Rainbow.
Oh yeah.
And one thing I love about old comics is miscoloring. Emil Hamilton with his blue beard with the lightning rod he's giving to Superman.
Oh yeah.
But the whole fact, like the whole like clone of Jimmy's dad is, I don't know, that was just pretty far out there. That's all I'm gonna say. With all his memories and everything, like
we're gonna get this like these two creatures, and I think they're escapees from Cadmus. It's a whole thing.
I'm just kind of like, okay, all right, Jimmy's dad couldn't have just been like. I feel like this is like two stories they forced to work together.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the most interesting, like when Jimmy comes out and he's screaming about his dad. He says, "I can't lose my father again," and Hamilton's like, "What does he mean?" But it was interesting. Like he told him about how I have the memories harder. It was hard for him, and he's like telling Jimmy his whole dad's story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of like, it's kind of sad,
Yeah,
like,
because his dad was like a secret agent.
Yeah,
but it's like one of those things. He took all these dangerous assignments so he could never go back to his pregnant wife, and he never knew his son. And
the son he'd only seen in surveillance photos taken by colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that's called a douche dad, but whatever. But the final panels at the end where Clark, as we see Lois with glasses, and he's like, "Oh, Lois."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she was trying on Allie's glasses. Yeah, he's like, "I'm on the phone." Gee, you think I was wearing a disguise or something?
Mm-hmm. And then Clark, I mean, we'll talk about this more in the next one, but him taking this job it's weird.
Yeah, almost like something's influencing him.
Which is interesting because I thought, he'd already stopped the Eradicator that was
So he
supposedly influenced.
thinks.
I know, like, because that's what's my thought. I'm like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Because first of all, I want you in these panels right here. Okay, pay attention to, is it Wit, the guy with the red sweater vest on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just pay attention to his outfit because we're gonna literally see Clark wearing that in the next issue. I'm not joking at all. Like, it was hilarious. I was like, oh, hey, wait a minute. But no, like, I just feel like this whole job thing came, and I accidentally read these out of order. So I was even more like sitting there thinking, like, getting frustrated. Like, Clark, why would you take this job? And I'll point out more about it when we get to the next issue. So, but I just like that, there was Jimmy was going through all this, and at no point did he start screaming, I hate you, Superman. You're my pal. You did this to me.
Well, by the time Superman's nearby, Jimmy's already like passed out. So
that's true too.
Oh, can you imagine if he was just like yelling at Superman while he's unconscious, like yelling at him in his sleep?
Superman did this to me.
My hair's grown back in lumpy patches.
Mm-hmm.
Give me back my daddy, Superman.
Yeah, for real.
But again, Hamilton's giving him crap again too, because he's like, oh, I sorry, doctor, I have something else important. He's like, more important than your friend. I'm like, you took him to the hospital. What more do you want him to do? Perform surgery on him himself or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like what like, I am Superman. Like,
yeah, I mean, you never know. There are gonna be 15 emergencies at the moment. Yeah.
He's
took him to the hospital.
He's choosing to help you, Hamilton. Calm down. Go sing your Broadway show.
By gum.
But this one was, I like this one, except it's weird because I like this issue, but the whole Jimmy's clone dad thing, really felt like out of nowhere. Like,
I mean, I think they are kind of setting stuff up that's going to take place with, I'd say, like the next. Well, might take a break for some of the Krypton Man stuff, but yeah, I mean, the next couple issues, they're doing the Jimmy thing. Might have been like a clumsy setup, but. So I'm trying to remember, because I don't think Husk even comes from this. Well, or does Husk come from that empty dimension? Because he might have been trapped too. But I was like, I didn't think Husk came from there.
I don't think so either.
But yeah, that forearm thing will be back.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that.
All right, so should we get to the next one? Kind of the reason we're here, the Christmas issue.
Yep, have to do this one in December.
Yeah, that's right. All right, see. And I mean, we kind of get the plot on the cover there, but it's like,
it's a good cover.
Yeah, except for the corner box or like the newspaper at the bottom, you really don't even get Superman on the cover.
And you know what? I like the cover. The Adventures of Superman, homeless for the holidays. We have the Daily Planet newspaper, like you said, with Superman lights Christmas tree.
Oh yeah. All right. So Adventures of Superman 462 from cover date January 1990. Home for the holidays. Writer Roger Stern, penciler Dan Jurgens, inker Art Thiebaert, colorist Glenn Whitmore, letterer Albert de Guzman, and editors Mike Carlin and Jonathan Peterson. All right. During the Christmas season, the employees at the Daily Planet organize a surprise farewell party for Clark Kent, organized by Alice. The words of his coworkers make it hard for Kent to say goodbye, so he walks through the hallways, reminiscing of his times at the planet. He suddenly finds Alice crying in the storeroom, and she confesses she's been living there for 3 years after the death of her mother. So she spent a few Christmases here.
Yeah.
Moved by her story, Perry White decides to run an editorial and add an article on page 1 reminding the people of Metropolis to take care of the homeless and help them in any way they can. And not only that, he invites Alice to spend Christmas with his wife and welcomes her to stay at their apartment until she can afford a place to live on her own. Meanwhile, Superman spends Christmas night with his parents and Lana Lang in Smallville. I almost forgot because she's like still wearing that cast on her leg. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's still from the Matrix thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. First of all, the homeless lady, what's her name, Phil?
Alice, or she said, oh, you call me Allie because Perry's
Right.
wife's Alice. Yeah,
That's exactly where I was going.
okay.
It's one of those things like I don't like when writers like do that. We're like, hey, we already have someone named this in the book. Let's create a new character and give the same name as another character we have going on.
And that's
Great.
thinking.
But I like this issue. This is my favorite of the three.
Oh yeah.
And I do want to say, like, I love the holly Christmas aesthetic on the page, like the way you can't really see too much glare, but I like that with the Superman shield in the Christmas bulb.
Oh yeah.
And Clark Kent cosplaying as Dick Tracy. That's pretty cool.
And then the whole thing at that condo they're building.
Well, I love this right here where he says, "Hey, we're Jer, what's the union going to say about this? Hey, we're supposed to work with Steel, ain't we? And he's the Man of Steel, right? Right." And I was like, okay, that's cool.
It's like, what do the unions say? It's like, you guys were about to weren't you guys about to lose money because you couldn't get this job done because the motor on the thing wasn't working, but Superman helped you lift all this steel up to the top of the building.
Mm-hmm. There goes all that overtime they had planned.
Yeah.
They're like, thanks, Superman. You just took Christmas from my children because I didn't get all the overtime I needed.
Oh.
But I like how we have Lois with her new hair where it's flat, but she's still a redhead. I'm going to complain about that forever because that's what I do. But Clark's got his. I'm going to point this out. He is in a white shirt with a black tie and a gray jacket.
Blue pants.
And blue pants. And Lois gives him an empty box. And he says, well, you are clearing out your desk today, aren't you? Some of us still have work to do. Then we turn the page and there's Brainiac messing with Lex Luthor. And then the next one is Clark Kent at his desk wearing blue pants, a white shirt, a black tie, and a red sweater vest. The red sweater vest that was nowhere apparent in the previous page, and the gray jacket is now disappeared.
I know. I mean, unless he had stuck at his desk. I don't know. That's. I'm like, it's the same person drawing this, right? Did you forget?
Now, I will say, like, as he talks about like the job and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking about like boosting his career and all that, all I keep thinking to myself is the factor that you're not putting into this job is that you're Superman. Like being a reporter that you get out from behind the desk and you can run off for a story or disappear for a while and then show up with a story really helps when you're Superman, and it leans to that side.
Well, he's gonna get to that, but again, he's thinking here he can also focus more on worldly issues.
Yeah, because Perry even talks about, the editor's job at news time is a plum. I won't deny that. The planet has nothing to match the challenges you'll find there, and probably won't until I retire. Being an editor isn't the same as being a reporter or a columnist. And I think that's like the thing. It's like, okay, like you're going to be stuck kind of being like Perry and trying to be Superman. It's not going to work.
Oh yeah, and again, there's a certain influence influencing him. So
yeah, and then we get the big surprise, Kent. It was all a charade.
Yeah,
being
we were
mean to
really
him.
You, yeah.
And then Kat tries to whip out some mistletoe.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to miss you, Clark. Loads and loads. I'm like, dang, girl. But my favorite is when Whit here kind of punches him on the arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, Wait, what's going on? And then Jimmy shows up late with a full head of, like, some nicely cropped full head of hair, though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wonder how long he's been in the hospital. Yeah, because he's back and he has at least enough hair to cover his head. So.
And then we learn that Alice organized the whole party, but they can't find her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hears crying. And that's when he goes in and finds her trying to roll up her sleeping bag.
Mm-hmm. In the storage room.
And she's like, no, don't come in. I'm okay. And he's like, and she's like, I live here.
Okay, here's a question for me. I mean, maybe he's not looking that closely, but I'm just like, right before he hears her crying in there, isn't he just like, oh, you know how many times I've changed into my outfit in that storage closet? I'm like, and you never saw any signs that anyone was if she wasn't in there, you saw no signs of anyone living there, like a sleeping bag or.
Nope, he hasn't changed there in the past 3 years. Nope. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, I understand they're all busy reporter, and I know this kind of undercuts the whole Clark Kent Superman thing, but they are investigators. There would be signs, like maybe, like, she's smart. Like, when she goes in here and she talks about her mom and her mom was already old, and then her mom dies, and all the medical bills, and it wiped out their savings. Then the landlord, makes them into condos and turns it up, and she lost it. And then, so I'm sitting there thinking, like, well, okay. So she's still been working here, but she's been able to save money. But then she says, rent Metropolis is high and it keeps getting higher. She can't ever get caught up. And then she says she still has all these medical bills to pay off. I'm like, okay, all right. So saving, it's still difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she breaks down the whole, I cooked in the kitchenette, showered in the company health club, slept in the storeroom, mostly though. I worked night shift as well as days. It kept my mind off things. And then Perry does, you were always here no matter how early I came in. I used to kid you about it, asking if you lived here.
Yeah, he did actually say that in, like, Superman number 20. Yeah.
And, I just kind of feel bad for Clark. Like, dude, you're Superman. You couldn't pick up on any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, and then that's the other thing. I guess she wasn't always in the storage room because she says she has keys to all the offices, so she could, like, sleep in one place the one night, one place the next. But my question is, where is she washing her clothes?
yeah. Well, maybe there's maybe a laundromat close by. You know
Probably.
what I'm saying? And so
yeah, they all say they'll help, and of course, Perry and his wife invite her to stay with them.
yeah.
But yeah, what did you think about the editorial Perry wrote?
Dude, I love the editorial Perry wrote.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. And then, she comes home, she's there, and they talk about their son not being there because she says, Mama always called me Allie. And Perry's like, Allie, it is then.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about staying there with them. And then Clark goes home to see his parents. Like you said with Lana. It's a nice little cheery Christmas tale, because you see, as Perry's talking about the editorial, you see people doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And like the kid and the mom who are cold on the street, and he wraps them in his cape and takes them to an organization place and to get help. And there's Jimmy and Lois.
Mm-hmm. Even Clark was helping out.
Mm-hmm. And then I think it's Kat who tries to help the guy on the street with the bum with alcohol.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird though because she's out on, like, this, like, really snowy night. It looks like, and it seems like the homeless guy has more of a coat than she does.
Mm-hmm. Because if you look at it, it's like she steps outside and she takes the mom and child inside, and then she sees him through the glass and just walks outside from where they were, and he just keeps walking.
Oh yeah.
And
it's funny. I guess maybe he didn't want the presents to get wet, but when he goes home to Smallville, he has all the presents wrapped up in his cape, like a almost like Santa's sack there.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one. And then we have Blonde Lana.
But yeah, they're like, "Oh, surprise, Lana's here." And, she's like, "Oh, after her Aunt Helen died, she spent a lot of Christmases alone." I'm like, "Why? Wouldn't the Kents be like, yeah, come spend Christmas with us?"
Yeah, that just feels like that's what they always do.
Mm-hmm.
And may we all come together healthy and happy for many Christmases to come. Here, here. Merry Christmas, one and all. Yes, one and all. Okay, good job repeating what your mom just said. I almost said Solomon.
Wow, what a Freudian slip there.
Superman. May the blessings of the season be with you and yours. So, the toast. Here's to family and good friends. May we all find the fortitude to keep the spirit of sharing alive all the year. I like this one. I like Perry's editorial.
Mm-hmm.
It was talking about being something that everyone can give and how, only in December for a few weeks we actually like reach in for that Christmas cheer, but it's something that we could do year round.
Mm-hmm.
And if we did it year round, maybe it would really help more.
Yeah, I do like that part. Yeah, where it's just like, it's almost like we find goodness in ourselves at just this one point a year, or maybe we're just crazy the rest of the year and, become normal at this time of year.
Mm-hmm. So maybe it's the rest of the year is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. It was really good. This, like I said, this is my favorite one, and I appreciate, I appreciate when you do a good Christmas kind of message and issue, especially because comics are yearly, so it's going to come back around, and I like having those to kind of reread each year.
Oh, yeah.
So, Merry Christmas to you, Phil.
Merry Christmas, Tyler.
Merry Christmas to everybody from Electric Mullet.
That's right.
Even Justin the Owl.
Speaking of Justin the Owl, he'll be back in January.
Yes.
Yes.
The Owl returns.
Just say, would you like to hear what we're doing? Or you know what? I'll save that till later. But yeah. So again, I know we talked all these, but any final thoughts on this? Any final thoughts on the year?
No, it's been great, man. I've
our
enjoyed.
first year of Mullet. Yeah.
I've enjoyed this. I'm adapting this format for Krypton Report next year. What we're going to do is we're going to do a kind of this new format style of 4 episodes a month. Each, like the third week of every month, our third episode every month is going to be chunks of comics. And we're going to go back and start with the Loeb Kelly era.
Oh, cool.
In the late 90s into the 2000s. So we'll do like 4 issue kind of groups and like kind of the same style format that we do here. So
nice.
As 2025 comes to be the year of Superman. So
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean that's always a good thing. I mean, getting into Superman comics because there's such a plethora. I mean, again, the guy's been around since 1938. There's so many comics to like dive into.
Like I said, I'm gonna do that kind of, and then I'm gonna go way back and explore the Silver Age. There's always time. So.
Or just like take certain characters like Lex or Brainiac or something, and just like compare them from the eras. The Golden Age, Silver Age.
Jeez. But yeah, it's always fascinating new ways to approach things.
And I'm sure there's a certain movie you're going to be covering next year.
Oh my God, yeah. We have what's it called again coming out, Phil? What's it? I feel like I should know this. It'll come to me.
What, the Superman movie?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it is. Yeah.
Because he's not thinking about it when he's awake. He's not dreaming about it when he's asleep. No.
I don't have a countdown calendar or so, but yep.
That's May? Right? Is that May or is it
July?
July, yeah.
Wish it was June. It'd make more sense, but whatever.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Any other final thoughts for the year? Again, since we're wrapping up the year here.
No, it's great. Like it's been an adventure. I'm enjoying this. It's a section of comics that I've read here and there, but just kind of finding a way to just dive in and do it in our format's been fun. Just kind of, continually reading and just building up more of that more detailed knowledge and experience than just the generalized. So
there's a name for a Superman podcast, kids. There you go. It's, run with that. Adventures with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, I don't know if you can get away with my adventures with Superman, but
our adventures with Superman.
Oh, there you go. Well, you and your Jimmy Olsen can do that.
Yeah. We had a whole long conversation how when he was younger, he was called Jimmy. And now that's why his son is now Jimmy and he's James.
Oh, that's so funny if you're Superman and he's Jimmy, because he could probably bench press you. Probably bench press your whole family.
Probably. He might just lay down, Tyler.
You could bench press the whole town.
I mean, that is true.
All right, but that's right, kids. So yes, so thank you for joining us. First year Electric Mullet. We love doing it. Send us your feedback. We want to hear your feedback. You're live. We can do that. You can send audio. I can play your thoughts in your own words. So yeah, please send us feedback. But next year, starting in January, you're gonna get 3 episodes in January too.
Awesome.
Because the first week we'll be back on January 2nd. You'll hear it drop on the podcast. Action Comics 649 as we wrap up the Brainiac trilogy. Superman 40 with more Jimmy. And Adventures of Superman 463. I mean, they kind of did it in the Silver Age, but this time you're going to get a race between Superman and Wally West.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for the other 2 episodes in January, yes, like I said, Justin the Owl returns as we do 2 parts on Day of the Krypton Man. Part 1 will be Action Comics 650, Superman 41, Adventures of Superman 464, and then Part 2 will be Action Comics 651 and 652, Superman 42, and Adventures of Superman 465. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming. And like I said, Justin will be in and out of here. But yes, the last 2 of the 3 in January, the last 2, yes, our good friend Justin will return. So that'll be a really good time.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Tell the owl.
All right. So and you're gonna say, where can I send those thoughts?
We're gonna send those thoughts, Phil.
Whoa, I'm glad you asked, Tyler. And again, you can always email us at CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes Lunatics merch, the classic Capes Lunatics merch. You can rain the money on us through the Cash App link. Again, it's the holiday season. Oh, and again, like I said, merch. I mean, you can get always perfect for every member of the family during the holidays. So,
yep.
Capes and Lunatics merch, the Krypton Report merch. Again, show your family you love them. Get them.
Word.
So again, rain the money on us through the Cash App link, and again, the Patreon, where Lilith and I give you something exclusive and uncensored every month. And if you are a patron, you can suggest topics for discussion, as Justin has many a time. So, yes, please subscribe there. Tell us what to do. So find that at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. And you can find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. And if you need more Superman in your life, Tyler, where can they hear you and the world's strongest man talking Superman?
Well, me and Jimmy Cole, we talk Superman over at the
You don't
Krypton
dare
Report.
box him, Jake Paul.
No. We talk Superman over on the Krypton Report. You can find us on all social media platforms and on wherever you get podcasts, including YouTube.
Oh, nice.
I'm tired of knowing everything.
He is. It's a burden.
It is.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, not only for this episode, but the previous 40 episodes also. So,
It's been a good time.
yes, please come back next year. Again, lots of good stuff coming. Again, a race with the Flash, the Krypton Man. We're gonna have Batman showing up here in a little bit. So many big stories coming up next year. Crisis of the Crimson Kryptonite, all of it.
That's a lot of alliterations. Oh, yeah.
All right, everyone. So, yes, come back next time. Remember, join us for truth, justice, and the mullet way. And happy holidays.